Hello guys, just gonna do a quick audio test before we start the stream. Right guys, that is the audio tech done. We're all ready. Today we are doing some night flying. I didn't initially plan this, but I thought, hang on a minute, it's night so important right now, why not? And I'm so glad I did actually. This Airport HD graphics add-on I bought a few months ago, wow, it looks good in the night. Look at that. I think it looks really cool. So we'll go ahead and go into the cockpit. The first thing we're going to do before doing anything is get some lights on, because I physically can't really see anything in here. So there we go, get some light on. It's annoying you have to like scroll it, the whole thing. Right, that's better. And I don't really know what that does. Doesn't seem to do anything. Where's the light up for up here? I don't know where half the lights are in this thing. There, maybe? No, I don't think it is. And then these are all the screens, look. So if I go up here, we should see it. There we go. Panel lightness, panel bright. There we go. Get that on. I think. Oh yeah, we'll get this up to 37,000 since we're cruising at 37,000. This kind of looks really cool. All light, nice and light like this. I think that's all of the lights we can have up here. And then we need the light on the lower panel. Oh, here you go, the centre panel. Where's the light for this thing? Here we are. Get the light on full in here. There we go. That looks nice. This is our cockpit now. Is there no light to go up here? Seriously? There's seriously no light. Oh, that's the light. There we go. Get that turned on. And there we go. That looks really nice. Okay. Now we've got our lights turned on. One really cool thing, we have actually got ATC down in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles Center as well, so we've got approach and center online. Hopefully this time online by the time we get down there. It'd be great if they could do that. They have got an ATIS. At the moment it says ILS approach in use runway 6 right, or vector for visual will be provided. It says opposite direction traffic departing 25 right. So I don't know why they're doing that. It doesn't really go in with the winds, but yeah, 6 right is what we're going to go ahead and use. So yeah, now I've got the lights all turned on. It looks cool in here. Gotta say that. It looks very cool. With all this lighting and everything. Because this panel could light up, but oh well. It looks really cool as it is. So we'll go ahead and get everything all set up now for today's flight. So we'll go into FS actions. Get the ground power on, first of all. Do that. And then after that, we'll go ahead and go to... where are we? We'll do the fuel first. Fuel, we are taking 7936. I imagine we'll have some in the centre tank. It's quite a long flight, this. Oh! No, we don't have any in the centre tank. Okay. Oh, that's because it's in pounds, that's why. PNGG setup. Aircraft, displays. We had to do this yesterday, didn't we, as well? Not yesterday, Thursday. Changing everything. Right. Kilos. And finally... the GPWS callouts, check they're all working. Where do I do that? Is is it equipment? I want to check that they're working. There we go. Turn all these on. I want full GPWS. Thank you. Right, that's better. So we can get back into the fuel here, and we are now entering 7936. As I thought, there is a little bit in the centre tank. I'm not going to use that till cruise, as it's very little. I've learnt that from before. When you've got that little in the centre tank, there is no point burning it until you're already at cruise. You may as well use it up then, because otherwise it'll just run out while you're still climbing out of the airport, so it's pointless. Payload, we are meant to have on board today 150 passengers, so that is full in coach and empty in first class. And a zero fuel weight of 57.3, okay. So, we need to add exactly 4, so we'll add 2,000 to each. And our centre of gravity is good, zero fuel weight 57.3, all bang on then, got 150 packs, and the cargo. So that's all ready. I can go ahead and get that on the ground, on the doors page. We'll go ahead and start boarding from GSX. That's been an update to GSX. I don't know exactly what the update was. We'll use airport terminal services. We are flying Delta today. Call sign is Delta 2114 today. I don't know, the simulator seems to perform better at night. Yeah, we've got a jetway as well, which is cool. So we're going to go ahead and, you know, jetway's all working, everything's all looking good. It looks nice actually when it's dark. Right, position in it. We are flying, we are here at KPDX, Portland. And we'll be taking a flight down to KLAX, CLAX, otherwise known as Los Angeles. Delta 2114 on the call sign. Open both the doors. There we go. Let everybody on. We are departing here in Portland. Looking at the wind, 0 degrees, 0 knots. We planned the 2.8s, which is the correct one, I think. Oh, we planned the 1.0s, but the 2.8s are closer, so we'll use the 2.8s. I want to use 2.8. I want to use that runway there. So 2.8 is that way. So facing that way, it's 2.8 left. We're going to go ahead and use 2.8 left. And we're taking the HUMS 5.
Thank you.
From HUMS, we're going to be taking J189er on to Lynn. And then to Burgle direct. Activate that. And we're going to go ahead and jump. Well, we initially planned for a 2.5 right approach, but according to the ATIS we've got down here... Oh, I need to connect to Vatsim, actually. Delta 2114, B738. Almost missed that. Right, connect. Fetch from server. That looks like the correct plan to me. However, our star might be wrong now, as we have planned a different, like we've planned a different runway basically because of how it's gone, but I think it can be used for both. So I'll go ahead and file that. So file flight plan. And we are taking, looking at the ATIS anyway, we will go ahead, it's quite busy. So yeah, information India at 6:53 Zulu, which is the latest weather, I believe. Yes, it's the latest weather. So, as it said, altimeter down there is 2992, 18 degrees, clouds scattered at 8,000. No, clouds scattered 800 feet, broken 1,000 feet. ILS in use. Runway 6 right or vector for visual approach. Opposite direction traffic departing runway 25 right. So we're going to go ahead and use 6 right for landing. ILS 6 right. And we're taking the right. Is our star valid? The the Ermin 2 is valid, the transition Burgle. Execute that in there. And 801 miles on the route. We planned.
How are you? I'm doing good.
770 miles. It's because we are using slightly different runways to initially planned, that's why. Right, let's have a look at our route out then. Playing straight out, and then a little turn. No restrictions out on the route then. Got a long gap between LMT and Lynn and Burgle as well. There's quite big gaps between waypoints today, and then we're on the Star, which is just consistent waypoints after that. And it's very, by the looks of it, it's very, very restrictive in terms of what we can do. We have got a vector.
Hello.
I don't know how a vector is going to get us from Antra to Ott somehow. I really don't get that, how that's going to work. But I guess we'll wait and see on... That's really odd. We can't do that.
Thank you.
How are we going to get a vector from... We can't get a vector from... From where? From Gado. All the way round to Ott. Like that, probably. Is it sure? Well, we've got ATC online. We've got Los Angeles Center and Approach, so I'm hoping they'll be able to help out with that. Los Angeles Center will really help if they're still online when we get down there. How long have they been online? They've only been online 15 minutes. Alright, because I'm a bit confused about that. I don't really know what we'll be doing there. Who knows? I don't know. What I do is overfly the airfield and then fly round, and that's what I do. But I don't know what the procedure says. Can I have a look at the charts?
How are you?
Is it better I use like maybe a transition? Maybe it's better let's try transition. Let's just try that first. ILS 06 right exert transition. Let's just try that. It will have, I think it will have duplicated this arrival now as well, unfortunately. Because this plane seems to often do that, unfortunately. I don't know why it does it, but it does often seem to. No, from Gadod, it's just a vector to exert. So that's useless. I don't know, and unfortunately that does appear to be a little bit odd. Who knows what we're doing? Let's try the other one then. Let's try the other transition. The FIM transition. Let's try that. So we depart from Portland, head out along the route, blah blah blah. GSX is now moaning at us, telling us to close doors. It's because I'm focused on what I'm doing first. Okay, that doesn't work either by the looks of it, because we've still got the vector, and then to FIM, so it's like, so the transition does nothing basically. Because it's obsessed with having a vector after Gado. Can I have a look at the charts to like confirm this? So Ermin 2 heads into Ermin, and then there's another page. It's a 2-page arrival. Yeah, we head into Gado, and then from Gado it's from Ermin. That's Ermin. It just says expect radar vectors to final approach course. So yeah, we're going to need vectors from ATC by the looks of it. That's what the charts say. So I don't know. It's how the procedures work here in America. They're a little bit different to how they are in the UK and Europe. They're just a little bit more like it relies on vectors from ATC. But luckily today we do appear to have ATC. Alright, what cost index we're running today? 54. Okay, that's quite a high cost index. Cruising today at 370. Cruise winds are 228 at 30. We'll go ahead and get the APU fired up now. Actually, these buttons look really nice at night time. Okay, that's everything all plugged in then. N1 limit, no derates on takeoff. Flaps 5 for takeoff today. I'm thinking maybe 147's quite a high V2. Oh, no, it should be fine. Not that heavy today. Right, flight director's on left side, right side. Go ahead and check everything's all good. It is all good. Altimeter down here in Portland is 2986. There we go, set that. Transition altitude obviously 18,000 as it is everywhere here in the US. Nice and simple. It's the one good part. It's nice and simple to know what your transition altitude is. Saves problems. Anyway, that should be it. We'll go ahead and get the transponder tuned to 2200. And we'll turn it on as well. We are connected to Vatsim. There's nothing currently heading for Portland in our area, so we're all good. I'll get the details of Los Angeles Airport up so we can see. At the moment we have a number of planes inbound from Sydney. There's 2 from Phoenix, 2 from San Francisco, but by the looks of it, all the top 4 planes will have landed by the time we get there, and then there's a massive gap to arrivals, so yeah, hopefully the ATC is still online when we get down there. I'd love it if they were. I would absolutely love it if they were, but I don't know if they're going to be. Unfortunately, Seattle Tower's online, so yesterday we had no ATC, and then today, yeah, they seem to be pretty busy. Right, up to 37,000 on here. I'm having VNAV are working. Set this round to our runway course, which is what, 250? It's runway 28 actually, I think. So 280. Beacon lights are on, Logan lights coming on, wing lights. We're having the full lights today, as it is night time. So we're going to go ahead and have full lights. Strobes into the strobe and steady, rather than steady. We want strobes. So that's on strobe and steady. Anti-collision lights on, wing lights on, Logan lights on. We'll leave the wheel well light. We can go ahead and get on APU power now. Disconnect ground power. So we'll go ahead and go to ground connections. Off. Set parking brakes. And the doors can also close. We'll close them. So everything's all good. Go into FMC. Progress page 802 miles. We can see there. Now press Control J to push back our jetway, and we'll go ahead and prepare for pushback and departure. 28 left is that runway there, I believe. Or maybe not, I don't know, it's quite hard to see the runways from where we're parked at the A pier.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Of the airport. 28 left. Should be that runway there, I think. Which part of the airport are we parked at? So there's the fork. And we're along that, yeah, we're along here. So we're going to push back to the left and then taxi down there. That should be 28 left. Looking at the ground chart. Cool. And I've just glossed off the chart support them by accident. There they are. Back where they belong. Should be that wrong. Yeah, my voice is working all fine. So go ahead and push back left.
Departure check completed. Bypass
And we
pin
can get on
inserted.
with
Release
today.
parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Cool, right. Clock's coming on. Go up here. Packs coming off. And fuel pumps coming on. We'll turn on the centre tanks later on. And engine number 2 into the ground position. And we'll watch it rise now. Auto brakes, RTO is set. We'll set the trim now to like 4.21 was it. Go 4.21, I think it was 4.21, right? 4.24. There, set. Right, engine 1 into the ground position now. Looks nice in the night sky, this. Right, and introduce fuel number 1. Engine number 2 can go into the continuous position, and our taxi lights can come on. And flaps. 1, 2, 3. So that's flaps 5. Cool. Everything's all set up. Then we're going to the FMC. Post on the legs page.
Set parking brakes.
Got no altitude restrictions on this departure, so we're all good. Engine starts all good. GSX. We'll set this into the continuous position and turn on the engine gens. Off goes the APU, and oh, there we go. Chime and seatbelt signs both on. Piece of heats can come on as well, and the electric gens are also coming on. Packs can come back into the auto position, and now, yep, we've got nothing on the recall.
Unlocking gear.
So all this looks good.
Tow truck disconnected.
All this looks good. We'll set the landing lights once we get to the later sort of part of this flight. Yeah, I haven't done a night flight in absolutely ages, so I thought, yeah, why not do one today? Feel like doing that. So we'll go ahead and taxi down here, then off 28 left. Follow our departure procedure. It's the arrival is going to be a bit more complicated with the weird vectors we've got. I will delete the vectors if ATC come offline and it gets quiet down in Los Angeles, because without ATC, you know, that's not happening, and you can't do vectors without ATC anyway. So I'll just delete half the arrival. It'll save us a bit of time anyway. So we'll wait and see what we get from ATC. But anyway, let's go ahead and say have a good trip. So we'll bring up the power. Flaps 5 is set. All brakes into the RTO. Brakes work. Yoke works. Everything's all set up for departure. So we'll get ourselves over to the runway now. It's quite hard to actually navigate around airports in the dark though. Like see different taxiway signs and things like that. The HD airport graphic add-on seems to help though. It's quite nice actually, you know. This is the time it is important right now, like, so it's realistic. Just very dark. We haven't done one like this for a while. Thought it just fitted, you know. We haven't done a night flight in so long. It's been, I think the last time was actually when we were flying Delta. I think we were doing that long, you know, the 4-hour stream we did like months ago. Was it in October, something like that? I think that was the last night flight we did. Because I tend to do it in Europe where it's daytime, and when I do it in the US, I just whack the time forward. But today I was like, yeah, why not? let's just do a night flight. I haven't done one for ages. It's actually when we were flying Delta. Yeah, my voice sounds okay. I was wondering if it was a bit quiet, but sounds fine. So we're all good. We're all good to go. We're just taxiing up to our little runway here. And we can turn the landing lights on now, and the runway turn offs, and the taxi lights can come off. Look at that! Our landing lights certainly illuminate the ground. We are absolutely we're lit up totally. It makes the ground shine. That's quite funny. I like that little effect. Right, turning here. I don't know what the time is in Los Angeles, but it'll be a bit lighter by the time we get there, I think. We're not. I don't think we're changing time zones at all. Right, we're getting onto the runway now. Oh, I better tune Unicom actually. Rip. I didn't tune Unicom. Luckily, there's no one there's no one around here, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I better tune Unicom. So we'll park up on the. I totally forgot that I was looking at the Vatsim thing. I was like, oops. 122.8, get that tuned in there, we're on Unicom now. RTO set, line light set, that's up to 37,000, which is our cruise altitude. Packs are in the auto position, nothing, you know, staring at me there. Centre tanks will come on once we're at cruise to burn off a little bit of fuel. Tanks lights off, all the other lights are on, it being this crazy, you know, this dark. So we'll go ahead and get this up there, just check that the FMC is okay, yep. And there we are. Actually, I want to get that into that position. Weather radar can come on as well. And we'll get it into the weather and turbulence setting. And there we go. We are ready to depart. Parking brakes off. Start the clock. 40%. Estimated flight time today is about 2 hours, 1 minute, by the way. A bit of a longer flight than normal. Initial power is set. And so we go. Knots. V1.
V1,
Rotate.
V2.
There we go, we're in the air. We have LNAV. We need to wait to 400 feet before we get VNAV. Positive rate gear up. And there's the VNAV. Well, I was already climbing at a pretty good rate there. Cool, and we are in the air. Getting a little bit of a minimums warning there. I have no idea why. This plane just does that sometimes. Right. And there's another minimums warning, a different one this time. I don't know what it is. What am I doing wrong that causes that? Right. And flat gear into the lock position. Ease it down now. Going flaps 2. Look at that. Lovely night departure out of Portland. Start to ease the plane now. Flaps 1. We'll unarm the auto brakes, disarm. And push the plane down. And flaps up. There you go, we've caught up with our speed, now the flaps are in. And autopilot in now. And here we are, guys, over the lovely city of Portland. I'm definitely taking that for a thumbnail. That is the most beautiful, I think, a default flight sim can look. You know, with no actual like add-ons, right? Into off, runway turn-offs off as well. We'll keep all these lights on the entire flight. Everything else looks pretty good, so we can just continue like that. And there we go. Obviously, 18,000 is transition altitude here in US. We've got a speed restriction of 250 knots until Wanos. This is going to 20 nautical mile range now. And we're doing pretty good. Look at that. It looks nice out there. Looks very nice out there. I'm glad we did a little night flight like this. We're getting a little bit of turbulence. It looked like turbulence that did, or maybe it was just the plane before, like, pushing its nose up a little bit. So we've got the time in Los Angeles. It is currently 1 AM, and the time in Portland, I think, is also 1 AM. Yeah, so they're on the same time zone. That's important. So it should be about 3 AM by the time we get down to Los Angeles. When we land, it should be about 3 AM. So I don't think it'll be quite, you know, sun rising time. Yes, right. Fan lights can come off now, as we are passing at 10,000 feet There is a restriction at 1 knots, so we can't go straight up to 250 knots. We're going to wait another like 1,000 feet or so. This thing is pretty much just like rocketing with the climb. Look at that. Pretty nice. And I'll make sure, I'll have a look at the ATIS now. We've still got information India right now. ILS approach in use, runway 6 right still. So there we go, we've just passed the speed restrictions. This thing's going to start getting its speed up now. We are cruising pretty quickly. Kind of expected. So just climbing up here past 12,000. Looks nice out there. Hopefully we'll have some ATC, that'll be nice. Right, this is going to 80 nautical mile range now. We'll let the plane gain its speed. You can see it's doing that pretty nicely right now. Right, speed seems to have gained pretty well, so this thing's just going to start heading up. Now, we are going to have a slight headwind on today's flight by the looks of it. Not too bad. About 30-mile headwind, ground distance versus air distance. So, not bad. You can see all the lights down there of other airports as well, it's cool. So they haven't flown at night for quite some time, and it looks nice. And it doesn't appear to affect FPS as well, which is really nice. Like, cause it obviously has to render in all the lights and things like that. Looks pretty nice. And hopefully we'll have some ATC when we get down to Los Angeles Centre. Who knows? Everything's all good. Everything's all working fine. So that's nice. And we're just cruising above, well, the clouds here. It is quite cloudy in Los Angeles apparently, so looking at the latest weather report anyway, it is pretty cloudy, so might be in for something a bit interesting there. You know, clouds are apparently broken at 1,000 feet, so passing through some clouds here. There's 18,000 as well, so standard pressure. And we can also turn the landing lights, no, not the landing lights, the seatbelts off too. So yeah, got a layer of cloud now, so that's going to block our view just a little bit, unfortunately, but you know, it doesn't appear to be too much of a layer of cloud. It's quite small. Passing here through 19,000. We have a little bit of weather on our weather radar up there. I don't know whether, you know, at the moment it's nothing to really look over. It's not too bad. So passing 20,000, we've got 17,000 left to go up to 37,000. Hopefully this thing will cruise, you know, climb and cruise pretty well. It's got quite a high cost index, so that should be alright for us. And yeah, as it stands right now, we have Los Angeles approach online as well, so that's nice. But it will be, of course, about another hour and 50 minutes before we actually get to Los Angeles. It's quite a long flight. I wish we had a light for this area though. Like, the cockpit does look a bit dark, even though we've got the lights all fully cranked up. Oh well, it looks kind of nice like this anyway. Just makes it look that little bit better, I think. So yeah, you can see now, obviously we're leaving the city area behind now. We've got some more sort of hilly landscape. This plane looks pretty nice. So we're coming to the end of our arrival, and then it's going to, departure, and then it's basically just a long list of sort of, a very short list of waypoints, quite a long gap between all of them. It's on an airway though, so I don't really know why that is, but because that's just how it is. So it'll be a pretty steady sort of route today. Once we're up there cruising at 37,000. Got a little bit of weather on our radar. It's only green and then little patches of yellow, so we can go through that fine. If it was red or maybe a large amount of yellow, I would steer around it, but at the moment it's mostly green, so it's no worry for us right now. And I'm pretty sure that's at the current altitude as well. That's not at 37,000 feet that it's saying that, so not too bad. So pretty good. We're going to have, hopefully, a new stack of weather through from Los Angeles for the 7:53 Zulu. Not yet, though. So at the moment, that's still the weather. I don't know why, the wind is absolutely perfect to be landing on runway 25. So I have no idea why they're using 6 right. I guess it's just what they want. But it'll probably change. Yeah, it looks nice out there. Looks very nice. So I haven't done a night flight in so long. It's like, I'm actually glad I'm doing one again because I forgot how nice it looks. Right, landing speed, that's good. 111.7. Get that tune on standby. 1117 and 071. Cool. And speaking of heading, we're heading round to what we're currently doing. And there we are, got 10,000 feet left to go now, and then we'll be up there. Landing altitude, Los Angeles at an altitude of 128 feet, so that's 150. On here. There we go. So this thing's now going to start doing a very slow climb. It's like an Airbus climb this now. Really, really slow. Now we're basically finished with it. We'll go ahead and get the centre fuel pumps on. Make sure we can burn some of that fuel first. The amount of fuel we're landing with looks pretty good. About 2.8. Looks pretty decent. And it does burn so quickly. Yeah, it's good to get a little bit of fuel out from that centre tank, make sure we're using up all our fuel. Don't want anything to go to waste, obviously. And then we'll be left with, whatever's left in the other 2 tanks. Oh yeah, that weather seems to have gone away now. We've climbed a little bit. Pretty decent, pretty good. Looks nice out there. Look at that, it's so nice. So yeah, I'm waiting for the latest update of weather. Oh, there you go, the update from weather from Los Angeles has come. QNH down there is 2,993. Temperature 17. Not bad. We've got 8 miles visibility, so the visibility is not the best. Clouds, we have overcast at 700 feet. That's the problem. It's quite cloudy down there. We'll have a look at what the ATIS is saying now. Whether they've updated it yet, I don't know. They have. Information Juliet now. ILS approach in use, runway 6 right, or vector for approach visual. Opposite direction traffic departing 25 right. So, cool. NOTAMs. Don't know what that means exactly. Activate transport with mode on all taxiways and runways. Read back all runway hold short instructions. Advise you have information Juliet. So, yeah, we have information Juliet. Currently no wind at all. Overcast, look at that, 700 feet, not good. 17 degrees down there, not bad. And ILS approach in use, runway 6 right, or vector for visual. We'll go ahead and do 6 right. I'm not going to do a visual in, well, what looks to be quite bad clouds we're going to have down there. I don't know quite how bad it's going to be yet, but I don't think it's going to be nice. Somehow. But now we're just sort of, you know, climbing up the altitudes. So yeah, we are climbing pretty slowly up to 370. We should get some ATC from Los Angeles Center. How long into the flight? 1 hour and 28 minutes into the flight we enter their sector, so probably just before descent we'll enter their sector, but not for about an hour at least, so I'm hoping they'll stay online. It would be great if they did. Yeah, we're climbing up now. Looks pretty nice down there. So it might get a little bit lighter by the time I get down to Los Angeles, but still not that light. I'm not expecting. Everything looks pretty good. Everything's all set up now for the flight, so... Actually, we'll go ahead and get our approach minimums set up now as well. So ILS 6 right, there we go. So we'll look at that. So we are Cat C aircraft today. Minimums for any category of aircraft is 316/24. What? Is that like feet in meters? Which is 200 feet above the ground, radio altitude, yeah. So 316, it must be like meters and feet, but 316 sounds about right, so we'll go ahead and set that now. There we go, that's set in there. Everything should be all ready to go now. Obviously, the reason we are doing 2 US flights this week, the initial plan was obviously to fly next week from Los Angeles to Denver, but because of the dates that route flies on, we're going to have to delay it by a week, and we'll do it in 2 weeks' time, unfortunately. It's just, you know, bad planning from me. Is basically what happened there, but oh well, basically. We've got 2,000 feet left now, up to 37,000, and then we'll just be sitting there for quite some time, I think. You know, we've got 689 miles to go. It's a bit of a longer flight than I'd normally do this, but as I said, I wanted to get down to Los Angeles as quick as possible so I could then fly to Denver. And from Denver we're going to fly over to Minneapolis. That's the plan, because Minneapolis is online right now. I don't know why Minneapolis Center is literally always online. I don't know why that is, but it's very often online, so I'll be making sure we get some of that. Okay, so we're coming up to 36,000 now, so we're just 1,000 feet level. We have got a little bit of weather on our radar. Hopefully it's nothing to you know, get concerned about. It should all be fine. There's a little altitude horn buzzer. Yeah, we have got a bit of an odd sort of restrictions now, so I'll have to have a look at the chart now just to confirm that. So we've got 2 different arrivals at first. We're coming from Burgle. Crowy, yeah, that's correct. Muppet, yeah, that's correct. M-Dot is correct. Gripper is correct. Viking, yep. Run, that's also correct. And Urban, that's also correct. And then we head to Simon, yep. Based, yep. Juice, yeah, it's all set. Cliffy, all set. Gaja, all set. And then Gaddo got to be at 6,000. And then that Vector, that's what I'm not so sure about. Hello? So we've got a number of little number of restrictions on our arrival. We have actually only got a few waypoints to our arrival. That's because of, like, well, how this flight's going, basically. It's quite a long arrival, actually. We'll wait and see what ATC gives us in terms of vectors. So yeah, currently they've been online, ATC that is, they've been online for 51 minutes. So, and Approach has been online coming up to 2 hours now, so I'm really hoping so yeah, hopefully we're okay in terms of ATC. It'd be nice. We'll see what we end up with later on. I'll be on out at 37,000 as well. We're going to be here for the next, what, hour and 10 minutes that looks like, so. Pretty good. The lights there on the plane flickering. It's pretty cool. It does honestly look so cool. I'd love to find a light for that. I don't think there is a light, but like I really wish there would be one. That's that light there, and then so that light is that light there. What does this light do? So right now it's on. I meant off. Oh, it's that light. It's my seat rest. Yeah, that's hopeless. That's useless. Why do I need that? It all looks good down here though. It looks pretty nice. See the clouds moving. That's kind of cool. That's what I like about Active Sky. Like the clouds they are just like real clouds. You can see them moving, you can see what they do. It's pretty cool, actually. Update the speed flying back. Very long runway, actually, down in LAX. It's a very big airport as well. I'll have a look at the ground chart now. Obviously, it's got like 4 runways and it's absolutely massive. Like, so I'm gonna land on 25 right. What helps me is I've actually controlled this airport in Tower 3D Pro, so it makes it a bit easier to navigate around, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and vacate, and then I'll probably park on the Charlie Pier somewhere. That's the plan, I think. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Because 2-5 right, I can kind of see why they're using that. It does make sense. No, wait, not 2-5 right. We're landing on 6 right. No, we'll park in the Delta pier then. I don't know why I thought we were using 2-5 right for a minute then. That's the departing runway. And we're landing on 6 right. So, yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. It does mean we're going to have, departing aircraft facing us as we come in. It's a bit of a weird one, that. I don't know why they're doing that, but it doesn't really matter. That's the thing. It just doesn't matter because we've got. It's not that busy. There's currently 2 planes on the ground, only one of which is departing. There's actually an Emirates. I'm guessing cargo because it's 9273's its call sign, and it's going from Los Angeles to Nice. So I'm guessing it's cargo, but it hasn't got a cargo sign, so. Kind of odd. Whatever it is, it's going all the way to Nice. That's a long way. Gotta say, it's quite a long way. But there we go, that's what they're doing, I guess. But a lot of planes are currently approaching. There's 2 planes at the moment that are due in, right now. It does appear we are going to have a Delta. Join us on the way in. Delta Flight 35. It's a 777 coming from Heathrow. And it's going to get there 10 minutes after us, apparently. It's currently 700 miles away if you go direct. If you go direct, I'm 500 miles away though. Okay. So yeah, we're 11 minutes apart, so, might get some of that depending on how well it works out. That'd be cool. To have another plane in with us. Yeah, Delta Flight 35, currently 38,000 feet. Flown all the way from Heathrow, that's amazing. Not too bad on the clouds, we can just see, the land basically. We are going to, actually no, we're not heading that close to the coast until we reach Los Angeles. We're not quite following the coast. Got no radar, weather radar issues, even though we did see some weather earlier. So we're doing pretty well here, just sort of sitting here at whatever 1,000 feet we're at. We're doing pretty good. I can see everything outside. It is quite dark. I'm hoping it'll lighten up a little bit. Maybe it'll be like dawn by the time we get to. I'll have a look. Los Angeles sunrise. 5:55 this morning. So no, the sun doesn't rise until 3 hours after we land. So I doubt we're going to be getting any sun or even dawn. Actually, is it dusk or dawn? Okay, dawn is the morning one. Good. I thought I had that right. Dawn in Los Angeles. 5:27 today. That's when the sun will first poke its south above the horizon down in Los Angeles. So 5:27. Nah. We're not going to be seeing any sun. It's going to be pitch black by the time we get there, I think. Oh well. That's how that is, I guess. ATC is currently still online. I don't know how long they're going to be online. I am really hoping we'll have some nice ATC, the whole, staying online, but we'll have to see what we get. At the moment, they're still on Information Juliet, so that's the information. Meant to be, we're passing over an airport soon called LMT. They've got full approach online. Although it's one of those weird airports. Nothing's flying in, nothing's flying out, but they've had ATC for the last half hour. Like, what's that ATC been doing for half hour? They've just been sitting there, like, seriously. Makes you wonder sometimes. This light thing seems to highlight weird with the lights on. It doesn't look normal. Okay, I don't know. This plane does look kind of cool in the light. It's this part of the plane I think looks best in the light. It makes it look really realistic. I think it looks cool. So I'm kind of surprised I haven't done, you know, a night flight in this long. But it's cool to do the night flying. So I need to do some more of it, really. But yeah, it's not very cloudy right now. As I'm waiting for it to get a lot cloudier later at Los Angeles. It's a bit of a pain, that. I don't know why it's so cloudy over Los Angeles. It just is. Unfortunately, that's what we've got to deal with. It's a bit of a shame that it's like that cloudy, but yeah, it's what we're gonna have, I guess. But it is worrying. Overcast at 700 feet. Like, our minimums is 300 feet, so that's okay because we're using an ILS. So our minimums won't be a problem. But wow, like that is. If we're flying somewhere like Juneau, that'd be like, you know, that would be like time to divert kind of thing. But luckily, because Los Angeles is obviously a big airport with lots of lights and ILS and all that, its minimums are very low. And obviously, I think we do have autoland capability in this plane, although I don't totally get how the autoland works in this thing. Like, it has a number of different autopilots, but if you try to do it like you do in the Airbus, it doesn't work, so. I'll have a look now, because it might say here. I don't know whether I can, Autoland doesn't seem to be a feature on here. I don't know whether it's like something I can just do. We'll turn on the round altitude dial. I really like that. And there we go. We'll keep it like that. I really like that round altitude dial. We should see an airport down below us in about 15 miles. That's the airport that's got ATC currently. Although I can't see them. Like, shouldn't it be really easy to spot an airfield right now because of how dark it is? Unless it's a really small airport, in which case why would you be controlling it? It's a lovely looking plane, this. Is that a light? I didn't know there was a light in the side of the... Is that an error, or does the 727 actually have that? I didn't know that. Because you can see all our wing lights and our strobe lights going off. We are fully lit up because of how dark it is. But amazingly, given the time at Los Angeles, it's still 17 degrees. It's amazing that. 17 degrees and it's night time. Like, how? It's getting warmer. It's because we're like flying south though. So obviously it gets warmer. So right now heading into Los Angeles, doing pretty well, I think. Right now, we still don't have any ATC. No, we do have ATC, but I don't know whether we're not in range of them or anything like that. I don't know when they're going to disconnect. We should get them an hour and 28 minutes to the flight, so, you know, still 50 minutes, really. Maybe a bit less, because they do tend to contact us a bit early, so maybe more like 40. But that still relies on them being there in 40 minutes time. Hopefully they are. And so we've got that weird sort of approach as well with the vectors. The vectors that wouldn't really... I could do the vectors on my own. If I did the vectors on my own, I would probably just... I would go to Gado and then sort of vector as like that. But it says on the chart, expect radar vectors from ATC. So there's no help with what you're supposed to do. So I don't know whether I'd just maybe cancel out the vectors and go from based straight to ops like that. I'd probably do that if we had no ATC, because obviously if there's no ATC, who cares at that point? It's not like you're following total real life procedures if there's no ATC to guide you. Because it's not going to work, that's the thing, it just isn't going to work. ATC, no, the vectors, because it's like, it basically relies on me taking a certain path over the airfield, but obviously that certain path, it's not on the approach charts and it's not on the star charts, because it's done by ATC. And without ATC you can't do that. That's kind of the downside with this sort of like kind of approach in America. Like in Europe you can follow the approaches without ATC. But in the US, really you need ATC. I mean, in real life there should always be ATC, obviously, but when you're flying online, there isn't always ATC. That's kind of the important thing. Set the heading round to what we're currently heading. Landing speed's constantly going down. It's quite crazy. We did like 2 really short flights on Thursday in this plane, and then we jump in this plane and now we're doing like a super, like, not a super long one, but it's a longer one. Nuts. We've got 230 miles left to run until our next waypoint, and then from there it's about 400 miles to descent. Not bad. 400 miles, not bad at all. And yeah, that's about it really. We've still got ATC, full ATC in fact, online. Got approach, ATIS, centre, all that good stuff. As I said, unfortunately, I don't know, approach has been online 2 hours and 10 minutes now, so they might be going off soon. I don't know. Normally, though, it is to a set time. So if say they're doing 3 hours, we might just catch them. Saying that if approach goes offline, we have always got centre. Centre's only been online an hour and 10 minutes, so they're less likely to disconnect. I mean, some people do spend like 6 hours, you know, doing controlling, but it's quite unlikely to find that. I was looking actually, surprisingly, today, apart from Gatwick, the whole of the UK pretty much, Gatwick and Manchester, empty, no centre, no nothing. I don't know why. I think we chose the right Sunday to be flying over the US. So I was thinking this morning, why did we bother flying over the US? There's never ATC, and Europe's always full of ATC, but today we've got lucky, we've got ATC, and Europe hasn't got any. So we've chosen the right day, I guess. It's quite nice. We've got a little bit of a headwind as well, actually. About 10 knots of headwind. Not bad, that's 12 knots now. We should get a weather update from Los Angeles. Again, the 80s reports over here in the US are hourly, not half-hourly. Don't really know why that is, but we're going to get them. We should get one in about half hour, because it comes in at on the 53. Again, really random. It comes in at like 7 minutes to the hour. Not 10 to, not 5 to, it's 7 minutes to. And then we have obviously about a 10-15 minute delay from active sky before we get the weather. So it'll be about 10 past. Between 10 past and quarter past the hour that we'll get our next lot of ATC. Not ATC, next lot of weather. Took me a while to figure that one out. But yeah, right now we're still over the Seattle centre, and then we'll be passing into Oakland centre before then finally getting ourselves into the Los Angeles area. Oh, great. Really? And right as I look now, centre have come offline, and approach, and ATIS. It's all just gone off at once. Great. Okay, no ATC for us then. Right, now I've got that decision of what do I do about this approach. Do I A, shorten it at base and then just get on our arrival, or do I bother trying to vector it ourselves? Because I could do that, but I don't know exactly sort of what exactly we're meant to do. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. That's right annoying, why did both of them disconnect at the same time as well? Great. I'll have a look if there's another approach we can use from Burgle. Right, is there another one that we could have used? That's a bit of a better approach, maybe? Oh, here you go, the based one. Can we use that one from Burgle? Yes, we can. How about I use that then? Let's try that one. So, arrival. We're still using 6 right, as that's what ATC wanted us to use, so I'll just keep using that. And the based one with the Burgle transition. Let's try that. How does that look? So it's the same approach look. Oh. That involves an even more silly vector. What does the wind say as well? So the wind is okay, the wind is just literally 0 at 0. No wind, 0. Total 0 wind. So, well, using that logic, it's actually 06 is the correct runway. So we'll keep doing that. It's looking like the one we originally planned is the best one. It's just one of those things. It's a little bit like, hang on, is it duplicating our approach? I need to check if it's done that to us. No, I think it's behaved itself this time. Sometimes it totally messes up and like duplicates the arrival, which can be a pain. Like it did that when we were flying into Kelowna a few weeks ago. No descent path after base. What's happening after base? We need to be above 9,000 and then between 8,000 and 9,000. I think that's okay. That's fine. Okay, that makes no sense. That looks alright. Okay, we're going to have to stick with what we've done. I don't know whether we'll stick using the vector though. That's the tricky thing for me. Do we keep using the vector or do we not? Let's have a look at the ILS. So ILS 6 right, what do we do? I don't know, I'm not very good with this, how it works in the US. I'm not very good with the whole do this and this sort of thing. Let's have a look at the charts one more time, see what they say. Also, the Airman 2 is also an arrival for runway 24 right. Well, that explains that. It says there, note, expect runway 24 right. Okay, we'll change to ILS 24 right then. There's no wind at the moment, so we can't really tell. But the runway in use was 6 right, that's the problem. So that's the problem we've run into there then. We've been given the wrong star. So I need to look at what's going to be a decent star from 46 right from Burgle. Alright, so I think I see the problem there then. That's what's happened. We've got that problem of basically we've been given an approach for a different runway. It's one of those kind of problems. So I'm looking now for an alternate arrival we could take that would fit. Is it the Zuma 3? I think it was because I think this was the route I selected was initially planned. Here you go, the Zuma 3 landing. Yeah, this is for landing on the 6s and 7s. So we'll take the Zuma 3 with Burgle transition. Let's try that. How does that look? Does that look a bit better? Let's have a look. So we'll take it into plan mode. And we head down like that. Burgle, do it. Yeah, this is much better. Yay! Okay, select that. That's a much better approach. Okay. And no vectors either. So we'll go ahead and amend our flight plan. We are now taking the Zuma 3. So I'll amend our flight plan with that, file that. So now people watching on Vatsim can see what arrival I'm now taking. Because in the US, again, they do sort of say what approach they use. No, what star what star. And I will also then go ahead, probably have to re-enter in speed. We don't. Oh, yeah, because we haven't changed our runway. I thought we changed our runway for some reason. That's just me being silly. I think we have massively shortened time on our route though, which probably have saved a bit of time. I didn't look at our ETA before, but we probably saved a bit of time. I can tell from the fuel that we've saved a bit of time. Obviously we don't have to fly past the airport now. Descent, I think, has also moved a little bit. So descent is now at 9:26 in 315 miles. A bit of a shame that I was saying, oh, how nice it is we have ATC. And then, as soon as I say that, what happens? ATC go offline. So, oh well, I guess that's how it is. That's pretty nice. The world down there in dark. The world in dark. Yeah, I just remember then I was planning a route on SimBrief and it suggested I use the Zuma, and it just clicked with me then. Oh, what if we try that one out? And yep, that's the one that we needed for runway 6. It was more suitable. That's what I'll say. Definitely more suitable. So we're good. We're all good for our arrival now. And yeah, we'll keep using 6 right because that's what, the ATIS said for us to use. And obviously, if we have to switch the runway, we'll switch our star as well to back to the Erman 2. But I'd like to keep using the Zuma arrival. What's the? If they've said, I'll look on the Delta. Oh, they disconnected. They're one of those people, I think that. The Delta from Heathrow is one of those ones that sort of only connect if there's ATC. So ATC went offline and then boom. So we actually got Los Angeles to our south because the next plane that is going to be landing at Los Angeles after us is a flight from Sydney, and it is 6 hours. Actually, 6 hours and 20 minutes behind us. So. At that rate, it doesn't even matter what runway we use. We've got the airport to ourselves. There's currently one plane on the ground. It is a Southwest from San Francisco on the ground. It's landed. So and that's literally it. So nice and empty down there, I guess. It's better. It's better it being empty for ATC, for having no ATC, I guess. That's how it works, I guess. Maybe by the time we get down there, we've still got about a good 40 minutes. More like 30 minutes before we get down to Los Angeles Center. So who knows? By then we might have some ATC that have connected again. But I doubt it. Probably not at that rate. Oh well. That's how that is, I guess. Very dark out there. Definitely found that. It's very dark. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying that even. Obviously it's dark. It's quite obvious. It's night time. It's like 2 AM right now. I mean 3 AM by the time we get down there. Because it's UTC, which is that time there, -7. So it's 1:47 right now. And by the time we get down there, it will be about 2:50. Yeah, 2:50 is the local time when landing. So it'll probably still be dark. Well, it'll definitely still be dark, I should think. When we land, obviously, I said we will be landing on 6 right, obviously. Vacating on probably Yankee or Whiskey, somewhere around there. And then we'll be taxiing in. We'll be taking the D pier, D7, D8, D9, D10. Somewhere around there. I don't exactly know where Delta park. It'd be quite funny if Delta did actually park at the Delta pier. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. All looks pretty good. We'll just have to see what we're doing, basically. Looks cool right there. Very dark. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know why the world looks almost purple back there. Like, what's up with that? Might just be a bit odd. Like, over there, it almost looks purple. It's very pretty, but I've never seen that in the flight sim before, where the world is purple. No ATC as of yet, unfortunately. Still nothing in the area at all. That's how it is, I guess. Been like that, I guess. It's nice we saved ourselves a bit of route time by taking the 06s. I'm hoping the next ATIS will confirm, although given the last lot of wind that did not favour the 06s, and considering the ATIS, ATC went with 06 anyway, it makes me believe maybe in real life they do favour 06 down at Los Angeles, because you do get that in some airports where they will sort of favour particular sort of airports. All seems to be fine. Yeah, no ATC at the moment, unfortunately. It was a bit of a shame that I was like, yeah, we've got ATC, but I was like, hang on a minute, they're so far away. Let's wait and see. And yeah, sure enough, they disconnected by the time we got down there, so never mind, I guess. That's how that is. That's what happens. looks nice out there. Where are we currently? So we're approaching, we're at 100 miles of Lynn, which is the Linden VOR. So we're probably like, we're probably over, maybe Reading. I think we're a bit past Reading. Maybe more like alongside Reno, probably. It's Reno. We're not really passing over anywhere. We're passing over Stockton at the Lynn VOR, but no massive places. We're passing fairly close to San Francisco as well, but nothing too exciting. Obviously, no step climb or anything like that today. We've got, what's that now, about a 10-mile headwind still, so we haven't done too bad on the winds today. The average cruise wind was meant to be 228 at 30. So at the moment, the wind direction is pretty much bang on. The wind speed slightly lower than planned, which is actually kind of good considering it's giving us a headwind. I'd much rather, you know, a lower wind speed. But yeah, it's pretty nice and calm, really. You know, only a 27 knot wind all the way up here at 37,000 feet. It's quite rare. Sometimes it can get up to 100 knots up here, so not bad. I mean, on the ground, 27 knots wind, that feels like quite a bit, but down here, you know, no, up here, not too bad. It's only minus 32 as well. I mean, it gets to minus 50 out here sometimes as well. It does seem to depend on the wind speed, partially, but yeah, it's not too bad a day outside. Right now at 37,000 feet, it's still freezing and it's still windy, but it could get a lot worse. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I wouldn't want to live up at 37,000 feet outside anywhere. You know, it never gets warm enough. I don't think there's any place at 37,000 feet where it's above zero. I don't know. There might be. Look nice up here though. They're pretty high up the contrail of our plane, sort of blasting off into the distance. Arrival's looking pretty good. We've got to be below 290 at UCAN. I'm just going to go ahead and check that now. So we are obviously taking, I'm looking at the departures, we're taking the Zuma 3. So that's going to be below 290 at UCAN, between 210 and 17,000 and 280 knots an ounce. That's where ACC would normally give us a hold if it was busy. And then we need to be 13,000, 17,000 at Danny, 9,000 to 11,000 at Zuma, and then 6,000 and 210 at Waker, and then we're on to the 80. Then we're on to the ILS. So it's all bang on, all looks good. Cool, means the plane knows what it's doing. Hopefully. And hopefully at the end. So initial descent will be down to probably 17,000. Make sure we can't go any lower than that. A bit of a controlled descent. Well, that's for certain. It's a bit like that, I guess. In San Francisco, we're descending 240 miles. So what's that? About 140 miles, 130 actually, maybe 130, 140 miles out, something like that. I think about 100. But basically, it's average. As long as it's around the 120, 150 mark. What's the minimum descent up here? So 37 times 3 is the minimum. There's no, obviously our airport is at like ground altitude, so it doesn't really matter. 111, so yeah, as long as it's anywhere from 115 to 150 is where we should be descending, unless there's some crazy restrictions, and that seems, you know, we're doing that pretty good. So yeah, that's the basic formula to discover sort of, you know, basic descent rate, about 2,000 feet per minute. You get 37 from 37,000, and then times it by 3. Maybe if the airport was at 1,500 feet, you'd do like 35.5 and times that by 3, and then the answer is the amount of miles out you need to start descending at a minimum. But obviously for us, because it's only at like 100 feet, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's 37,000 because it's a pretty much minimal altitude. I could do 36.9, but really wouldn't be much difference. It would make a difference of 0.3 of a mile. So it just doesn't matter. We don't do it that seriously anyway. You don't do it to 0.3 of a mile, because then you just round it anyway. Yeah, it looks nice out there. There's a city along there. I'm not sure what city that is. Sacramento, maybe? We should see on the right of us. It looks cool down there. We've still got the one plane on the ground in Los Angeles, but nothing else. And obviously that plane is departing. No, not departing, arriving. It's already on the ground. I don't know how long it's been on the ground, but I think it has been for quite some time, maybe. We're doing pretty good here. Pretty nice. It is quite dark, isn't it? Just on the video, it looks really dark. It'd be interesting to do a night landing. We haven't done a night landing in ages. I can't wait to start landing this thing though. Like, after landing the A320 yesterday, it's such a mess to fly, that A320. I don't know why, but it's just not as good. Also today we've had a number of playbacks. We're up to 10 playbacks. We had 5 viewers at one point. That's amazing. And of course, thank you to whoever liked the stream. That's a little sort of stream analytics update, I guess. We're doing pretty good here. Oh, look at this like a database feature on SimBrief. Oh, it's just about different. It's just about weather and things like that. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, right now it looks like we've got Los Angeles to our south pretty much, so doesn't really matter. We'll set all brakes to 2, ready for landing in a bit. What's our landing speed like? It's decreased down 1 more, so I'll put that in. How long left now until descent? We've got 200 something miles. There's a weird texture thing going on there. Look at that flickering when I move the camera. Odd. Looks pretty cool up here. We've got no warning signs up there. How are we doing for fuel actually? We've got 3.1 we're landing with, that's fine. Fuel's fine in all the pumps. We might save a bit of time on the 2 hours and 1 minute air time now we've been able to save ourselves a bit of time on the arrival. Who knows? So we're currently 1 hour and 2 minutes into the flight. How long does this plane think we have left? This thinks we have 51 minutes. So about 1 hour and 53 this thinks the flight's going to take, which does mean it is shorter than planned. Kind of nice. 2 hours and 1 minute is a bit longer than I initially sort of thought the flight would take, so it is a bit of a longer flight than usual. It is up in the 800 miles. It's like getting on for being slightly too long, but as I said, I wanted to get down to Los Angeles as quickly as possible so we could fly out to Denver next week, but then I obviously sort of miscalculated when that flight operates, so we're going to have to delay that. So next week we're only doing European flying. We're doing, well, on the Thursday we're going from Oslo down to Manchester. I'm going to have to check, because Saturday we're currently doing Palmer to Gatwick. We're doing like the return of that holiday flight we did 2 weeks ago, but I want to check if there is an event on first. There hasn't been lately. No, still nothing, unfortunately. So yeah, that'll be it. It's one of those Saturdays. There's plenty of events on actually, but none of them really suit our time. They tend to start a little bit later. Well, I might have had some updated weather now. It's been about 10 minutes since it should have been released. No, we haven't had the update from Active Sky. What about the Meta? Because that tends to update first. The Meta is up to date. 270 at 7 knots. Nice. Okay, that means we're going to have to use the runway 27s. No, 24, right, we'll be using. Oh, great, that just sort of messes up a bit. Nice, so it looks like we are going to have to be using 24, right? And we'll take the 2 again. With the Burgle transition, that's going to waste ourselves about 4 minutes. Oh, only 4 minutes then. Not too bad. I don't think there's a vector on this one now. Oh, there is still a vector. We'll probably just delete that vector. Do that. It's kind of a shame that, like, this obviously about the weather, but that's the weather we're going to have to use. We're going to use runway 24. We could also use the 25s, but we're going to use 24. I think 25s would have been what we were initially planning. Actually, no, the 24s what we were initially planning, were they? I'll have a look. Where's the ground chart? No, 24's what we want. 24 right. 24 left would actually be a bit better because it's longer. It doesn't really matter though. So now we're going to have to change all this. So the course is now 251. Really weather. Oh, it's just weather, isn't it? Like 108.5. But luckily the vector's suitable. Now I won't make it active yet. That's how the weather is, I guess, isn't it? It'll always change. Always wants to change. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be using 2.4s. Using the 0.6s just seems like total stupidity now. Because I think the way it works in a lot of these airports, if the winds are under 5 knots, like in Athens, they will, like, they'll preferably use one runway over another, no matter what, if the winds are under 5 knots. Maybe earlier the winds were under 5 knots, I didn't actually check. But now they are 7 knots. You know, 7 knots is a fair wind. So really you need to be sticking to that, and yeah. And with no ATIS to go off, that's what we're going to have to do. I think I would rather use I'd rather use 2.4 left though. As it is a longer runway and it's also closer to the terminal by a little bit. How does that look now then? Actually, the approach for that runway is slightly longer, which gives us a bit better sort of 9:53 actually is our arrival time now. So yeah, I'd rather use 2.4 right. We'll refile our flight plan again then with the correct one this time. The 2. File again. That's the 3rd time I've had to file that flight plan now. Because obviously we keep changing what we're doing. But that's definitely the right runway to be using. And so there's nothing actually approaching anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right, let's go back to 80 nautical miles. So that has delayed our descent by about 2 minutes. This descent path is a little bit more restrictive than the other one we were planning. I mean, I would have much rather have the other one, the other approach, but that's what we'll have to do now, so oh well. And the weather's not going to change now for another hour, so I can't see it changing again. 270 at 7 knots. Still overcast at 700 feet. That's not so nice. Not what I wanted. Altimeter is 299 at 3. So the altimeter is basically just standard pressure, which is nice. Yeah, 700 overcast at 700 feet. That's a bit worrying. Right, I need to go ahead and check the minimums now as well, because I haven't checked them for our new arrival. So I'll go ahead and check that. 24 left. It's the same runway, just approaching from a different side. So we should have very similar minimums. The minimums are 323. So a little bit higher, but really not much higher at all. That's the wrong dial. There we go. 323. Obviously, I'd rather them not be a bit higher. It's only 10 feet though, so it doesn't really matter. Cabin looks really bright in here. Surprisingly bright given how dark it is outside. Never mind. I don't even know if we have cabin lights and that sort of thing, but I don't remember turning anything on like cabin lights. We have the emergency lights that have to stay armed the entire flight, but I don't think I have control of the cabin lights, do I? Generally it's the cabin crew that do the cabin lights, isn't it? Not bad, looks nice down there as well. We're rocketing along pretty well. Got a little bit, oh actually no, it's only like 5 knot headwind now, that's not bad. With our speed has caught itself up a little bit. That's rather nice. 120 miles to Burgle, just before Do It. That's where we're going to be descending, so we've still got a little bit of time yet before we have to descend. Yeah, no ATC, unfortunately. That's how it is, I guess, isn't it? If I don't get ATC, we don't get ATC, I guess. The plane that was on the ground at LAX, Los Angeles, has now disconnected. So we have got Los Angeles Airport entirely to ourselves. There is currently a plane on the ground in Phoenix and a plane on the ground in San Diego, both heading for Los Angeles, but they haven't left yet. If the plane from San Diego leaves now, it could be there before us, possibly. It's only a 94-mile hop, and so yeah, that one might be there at a similar time to us. If it sort of takes off now. They've got a ground controller online, that's probably why they're doing that. The ground controller's been online for 4.5 hours. That's a long time. Minneapolis Centre's still online, so that's nice. Yeah, we're definitely going to be flying around Minneapolis in the future. Because they always seem to have ATC online. They're like the one place in America at this time of day that always seems to have ATC online. Looks nice out there. Nice little outside view. It's so light in here. It's so light in the cabin and so dark outside. It's just like, makes no sense. Looks nice out there. $270 miles left now, so not long. We should be descending in about 140 miles. Oh, okay, it might be a bit of a steep descent then. It's because of all the crazy restrictions, I think. That sort of make sure we're doing, you know, the correct sort of descent path. Oh, there we go, a plane going to Dublin has just spawned in LA. Aer Lingus Flight 68. They're using the Gardaí 3 departure. What runway's that off? The Gardaí 3. Because I'll be able to see then what runway they're using. Here we go, Gazi 3. That uses the 07s. Interesting. That uses all of those runways. That's kind of interesting then. That means they're using a slightly different... That means they're using different runways to us. Even though the wind... I'll have a look now on so I'll have a look, so... We're using ILS, was it 24 right? 24 left. Because obviously that plane there, the fact that it's using, because the wind really doesn't agree with that, but it might be like an airport procedure thing. I'll read through now. So other remarks: noise sensitive airport on westerly takeoffs, no turns before, okay. Practice instrument approaches. Runway, no, that's emergency. No, all that's to do. No, I'm looking for things about the runways. Nothing. Runway status lights in open, okay. But it doesn't have an issue with that then. Who knows then? It doesn't really say what runway they prefer to use, so I guess we'll just wait and see. Yeah, we'll just wait and see, I guess. I don't know, I haven't had a reply back on Unicom, so just wait and see. It's about 115 miles to descent, still a little bit of time yet then. Looks nice out there. Or over there. Maybe some bright cities, things like that, kind of cool. There's now 2 planes on the ground in Los Angeles. There's a BA now that hasn't got a flight plan. That's interesting. So we might be having some company then. However, yeah, so they're planning on using the 06s. So it's kind of odd. I don't really know what's going on with this whole sort of thing. Oh, the BA just disconnected again, so it's only 1 plane now. Have to see how it all works out, I guess, with the runway. I'd much rather use the 06s, but I'd rather know before burgle. I don't want to know after then what approach we're using. You know, I can't really know after burgle. After burgle, that's it. That's the start of our approach. We'll start descending. Can't really do anything. So if possible, I'd like to know in the next 10 minutes if anyone is on Unicom, but it doesn't appear they are. Looks nice out there. Nothing up here that's out of the ordinary. Good. Very good. Here you go. I've had a reply saying just give him the 80s. Yeah, I know the 80. Not the 80s, sorry, the METAR. I know what the METAR is. Yeah, so that suggests the 2 4s and 2 5s, don't it? That was from ED666. Where are they? Can't even see him on here. See, yeah, looking at that meta, it's almost certainly like it is almost certainly in that case the 2.4s and 2.5s, but obviously the Aer Lingus currently on the ground is using a different runway unless they're changing their flight plan, which they're not at the moment. Looks nice out there, look at that. So yeah, I don't know when we're descending now, it must be soon. There you go, 87 miles, not long. 12 minutes. These flights go quick though. Like, it doesn't feel like an hour and 20 minutes ago that we left Portland. It's like, yeah, it goes pretty quick. You'll have to see what we're doing in terms of our arrival. Right, 55 miles time, we'll start our approach. I've just come in range of San Diego ground, so if any ATC spring up now, I will get them on my V-Pilot then by the looks of it. Yeah, at the moment we've got nothing, unfortunately. No ATC at all. It's a shame, because earlier we did have ATC, but obviously that's how that sort of thing works, isn't it? We could have had ATC, but then they disconnected, so... Oh well. That's Vatsim. There's not much online in the US right now. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you can kind of tell right now in the US where we are, it's 20 past 2 in the morning. There's not a lot of people out on Vatsim at that time. So, because that's just how it is. I think we need to do some more flying in Australia soon though. There are some more Topa Sky flights I'd like to do out of Brisbane. So we'll probably do Brisbane back to Melbourne, and then maybe we'll go to Cairns or somewhere like that. I'd like to do. And there's also some flights over in New Zealand we can do as well. I think it's like Wellington. I think it's Auckland to Wellington, then Wellington to Christchurch, I think. But I'd like to do that as well in the 787. There's some cool stuff we can do, and obviously at this time of day, there always seems to be ATC over there. Yep, New Zealand's online right now, so they do often seem to have ATC. So yeah, maybe we'll do that in a few weeks' time as well, because I'm always looking for ways I can fly that 787 on short hops. It's a great plane. Obviously, we're not flying it this week, but we did fly it twice last week, so balance it out. We're flying it again next week once as well. So actually, we're not flying the 737 next week at all. So it's a balance. We've got 3 planes. We get to balance them out. I haven't flown the Dash 8 in a while, so maybe we'll dust that off at some point as well. I don't get on as well with the Dash 8 because there's a few weird bugs in that thing. Like I remember when the PMDG used to be really buggy for me, but ever since I got that new graphics card in this thing, it seems to have fixed some of the major issues I had with it. I think that was partially the issue. A lack of VRAM caused some slight bugs, but yeah, the Majestic Dash 8, there's this weird bug where the textures all go black when you scroll out, and you have to scroll in to get them to go better, and it's a known issue in the Majestic Dash 8. there just doesn't seem to be much of a fix for it. And it's also like how the FMC works in it. It's like that's just how it works in real life. It's a bit more of a realistic aircraft in terms, you know, it's just like the real aircraft with its FMC basically. And you have to make up things like the top of descent. Things like the ATR. I don't know, the ATR 72 I was really disappointed with. Like, bought it and then first off, the Navigraph subscription never worked in it, which was a major letdown. It's always a faff that trying to get it to work with Canardo planes. You need to. It's basically. I figured out what the issue is now, but I can't reverse it unfortunately. So, oh well. And not only that, it lags like crazy because it's got a fully modelled cabin. And you know, I like this sort of cabin. The sort of cabin like this. Look, it's got a cabin, but it's low detail, so it doesn't lag out the game. But it's got a proper full detail cabin. It's a big plane. So I get like 20 FPS without even streaming. It's like, what's the point? So yeah, that ATR, honestly, unless you've got a decent PC and you make sure you install it as FSX, not FSX Steam Edition, buy it. But apart from that, I mean, this PC's decent, so it's like, I do mean a proper good one. It's not very well optimised, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a setting for it that I can't find, but from experience, Canardo's planes are a bit more basic. They're not as good. That's why they make all our private planes, though. If you want them, you know, if you want to buy a Cessna, get a nice detailed Cessna for VFR flying, go Canardo all the way. They're perfect for that sort of thing. But for passenger aircraft, no. I just don't think they make good enough planes. Maybe it's how they are. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I love what PMDG do. It's a shame with Quality Wings, because Quality Wings make the lovely 787 that I fly, but the 757 they make is shocking quality. It's like £10, and it's terrible quality. I don't know about their Avro. They also do like an Avro, like a BAE 146 kind of thing, like an Avro RJ. I've never flown that. I haven't even looked at it really that much. But again, it's not really a particularly popular plane. The next plane for me to buy would definitely be the 777 from PMDG. We can do some freighter flying in it out at Stansted. That's probably what I'd do in terms of short flights. There's a flight you can do with it over to Madrid, things like that. So there are some short flights Fly UK do with it. So yeah, that's probably the next plane I'd look into. The Quality Wings, though, by far, you know, it's one of my favourite planes. Well worth the money. I know it was like £75, which is very expensive for a plane. But the fact that it comes with its own charts built in, the fact that it looks just like the real life aircraft, I should know, I've sat in the cockpit of it. You know, it looks really decent. Right, let's have a quick look. Has that Aer Lingus changed its route? No, it hasn't. It's still using the Guard E3. I'm going to use... Right, so, Plax, traffic. Passing Burgle using Is that spelled right? Yes, 2 star ILS 24 left approach. Descending in 40 nautical miles by a star. There we go. Go ahead and post that on there. Actually, it said it's more like 30 miles. Never mind. Got that slightly wrong. We're not going to have a weather update from Los Angeles for the next 35 minutes now, so at least. So we'll be good for weather. This weather is, I said, it's the clouds that concern me. Overcast at 700 feet is never good. Put it that way. It does worry me a little bit. We'll have to see how it is, I guess. We'll see how it turns out. Apparently we should have the transponder on while on the taxiways according to the 80s we had before. Right, all brakes are set for landing. We'll go ahead and check the landing speed now. That's gone down one more. I'll just check I've tuned everything correctly for the new runway 111.7. So obviously I didn't change it, did I? 1117, yes, and 251. The course is the same. Just 1117. Cool, everything's all ready then. All ready to go. Looks nice out there. Been in the air an hour and a half now. We've got, how long's that left now? About 26 minutes, so about an hour and 56 planned flight time now. Because it added 3 minutes on doing this approach rather than the other one. So you can see it didn't really add that much time on. It's because we had to stay at cruise for long, but I think we're descending at 11 miles, so I'll set this down. You know what, let's just go down to ILS altitude and let the plane handle it. So that's where the ILS starts, 4,000 or above, so we'll set that in there. The plane can handle it itself. We've got no ATC, so doesn't really matter. We'll reset our heading round to what we're currently heading as well. That Aer Lingus is still on the ground. I don't know what they're doing. Haven't heard anything off them on Unicom at the moment, so who knows? They've only been connected for 20 minutes. It's an oceanic flight. It might take a bit longer to plan, so who knows? So we're gonna pass Do It in 5.5 miles. That just before Do It, we are going to start descending. So we basically hit our descent point about now. We need to be below 290, above 260 at Crowe, which is our first restriction. And then the whole star is just full of restrictions. So it's going to be interesting how our plane handles that. But there we go. We've started our descent now. Let's see how intensive an descent this first part's going to be. Because it's all these restrictions. It is pretty interesting. I'm passing 36,000 now. Yeah, it's a slightly steep descent, not too bad though. Obviously, yeah, in 25 miles time we need to be below 290. Which is what, I reckon this plane's probably just going to get us down to 290 and then just like level off a little bit and start a slow descent maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this plane plans on doing. We've got 125 miles left. So we've started descending at what I'd call a pretty good time. We've got a speed restriction at Muppet of 280 knots, okay. But right now we're only doing 275, so it doesn't look like it's going to affect us an awful lot right now. We might a bit later. We are, descending fairly quickly, about 3,000 feet per minute. That's the maximum descent rate that the Boeing 787 allows, so... It'll probably level off a bit later on anyway. Yeah, we're already down to 32,000. It's absolutely punching it down. That Aer Lingus is still on the ground, so we'll have to watch it when we land. As I said, the plan at the moment is to take a gate on the D part of the airport, so a D gate. We'll see what we have available to us, I guess. Right, we are approaching 29,000 now. At the next waypoint we've got to be between 230 and 270. That is quite a sharp descent. I can see why this thing wants to get down to 260 now, so that we're already in sort of the right range. Although it is nice slowing down our descent quite a bit. as we have hit 290, so it's probably like, there you go, we've met our restriction, we'll slow ourselves down a little bit now, that's what the plane's thinking. But it'll probably still take us all the way down to 260. About 20,000 feet, probably get the seatbelts on. Standard pressure, no, out standard pressure at 18,000. However, you know, QNH is 299.3, so it's literally like it's like 0.01 off standard pressure anyway, so it's not really going to make a massive difference to us. Still descending kind of slowly. We'll put this down to 20 nautical mile range now because the waypoints are starting to bunch up a little bit. We're going to have to slow down to 280 knots at Muppet as well. I'm guessing it's Muppet, or maybe just Mupped. Mupp. I don't know. Who knows? Because the way it works, like all the waypoints in the US do make words, but they have to be shortened to they're 5 letters long, a lot of them. We're doing pretty good on the descent now, just passing like 250. We're still 100 miles out, so maybe the next part of this descent phase will be a little bit slow. We've still got like 21 minutes left in the air, so who knows? That Aer Lingus is just disconnected, so I don't understand what's happened there. We'll see. Well, we're coming up to 23,000, which is where we need to be at the end of this waypoint. Next waypoint, 200 to 240. So we're actually already within that restriction. We're going to start slowing down now. And we'll give the plane a little bit of speed brakes to help it slow. There we go. It's met its target now, slowed down successfully. Next speed restriction now isn't for quite some time, I don't think, so it's not until Simon. So we'll be at 280 knots now for the next part of this. We are slightly off course with our descent. I think we're starting to get back on course with it now. Just passing 230 right now. I don't see any of those thick clouds that were advertised. Hopefully it stays like that, but I mean, we are still 90 miles out. Like, we still have to get to the airport, look. Right now it is in a straight line heading for the airport. Like, we're still 60 miles away if you go direct, so we've still got a bit of time to go yet. Obviously it is still dark, hasn't really got any lighter at all, kind of what I was expecting. Looks really nice dark though, this cockpit. Right, we are slightly too high again, I don't know, the descent speed on this keeps going up, down, up, down, up, down. Although we're fine for gripper, like we can stay at the Archie Brown and be okay. At Viking, once again, we should be okay. Yeah, so right now we have, the Aer Lingus is back on the ground. So, it is still there on the ground. So passing 20,000. And this thing's going to slow down its descent, and then it picks it up again, and it slows it down. It's a bit random. Right, seatbelt signs can come on now. as well, since we're approaching 18,000 as well. We're gonna hit. Look, at the end of a waypoint, look, we just suddenly end up like too high. It's kind of odd that's happening. Guess that's how it works. Go past 19,000, so right now doing pretty well at managing our descent. Right, I'll go ahead and get us out of standard pressure now. There you go, no change anyway, because 29903 is like so close. It's kind of silly. Right, we'll make an announcement. Passing 18,000 feet using ILS for left. Approach ETA is 9:55 Zulu. We'll add a minute on. And I'll just check our simulator time is accurate with real life time. Guess it is, so we'll go ahead and send that. Sometimes it can be way out, or like, but it's pretty good today. Because obviously the FMC doesn't use real world time, it uses in-game time, so it can be a bit out sometimes. This thing again descending pretty quickly to try and keep up with. I think it's learned now maybe that the descent path that this thing keeps setting is like slightly wrong. So we're just passing 16,000 now. So we just hit some turbulence then. It felt like we just dropped then a bit. Yeah, I don't see that thick overcast cloud that was promised. Why is it dark over there and light there? Look. That honestly just looks like the weirdest. Is it on a mountain or something? I think it's on a mountain because it's not a range distance like a drawing thing, like, because we can see it over there. So that's kind of odd. Lighting fail. How far is it now? We're 64 miles from the airport. If you were direct, we're 38 away. So we're not adding on too many miles then to go direct. You can see an airport down there. It's cool, you can see all the airports like this. Looks kind of nice. I haven't heard anything of that Aer Lingus on Unicom yet, so I don't know what they're doing in terms of, runways or anything. We have got a hold. When's our first altitude hold? 6,000 there. So we're going to be at 6,000 for a little bit of time before then eventually descending again. Right, we'll check the checklist, descent checklist. Oh, I didn't do that. I did do all that, right? I think I did. I'm pretty sure. Right, and we've done everything for landing as well. We've got our reference speed, and we've got our baro set. We'll just check our reference speed. Yep, 111.7 as well is tuned in there, and 251. So we are all accurate already. I won't bother activating the ILS yet. We're still a little bit far away for that. We're slowing down to 250 knots now. We would have had to anyway before 10,000 feet, so it's the right time to be doing it. So down to 250 knots. Slowing down nicely there. You can see the Mach number just like tumbling. Right. Yeah, we've got to be at 12,000 or above at Simon here, so sitting here. We'll put us down to 10 nautical mile range now, as we're getting quite close to the airfield. Let's have a look. Okay, now I can see it's overcast. Wow, okay. This could be a bit of a cloudy approach to us. I'll probably leave the autopilot in, obviously, until I can see. I don't believe we have autoland in this thing, so that'll be interesting, but yeah, right now it does appear that it's a little bit cloudy. I'll just have a quick look at our... Have a look at the weather in San Diego. Okay, it's very cloudy there, and our alternate... Oh, it's very sunny there. Ontario. How is that our alternate? That's like really far away, isn't it? Simbrief is so bad at planning alternates. Like, I'm positive, isn't Ontario quite far away from Los Angeles? Like, not really far away, but like far enough away for it not really to be a very suitable alternate. Oh, Ontario International, but it isn't in Ontario. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Didn't know that. Ontario International Airport isn't in Ontario. It's actually quite close to San Francisco. It's by, like, a place called...
LA traffic, Shamrock 60,
oh, there you go.
taxi to runway 24 left, Delta.
Okay, the Aer Lingus is using 24 left. Good to know. Right, on go the landing lights. That's good to know then. That means they're about to leave. And it means we're using, well, maybe they're just using the runway we're using. Who knows? Probably. Right, we're slowed down to about 240 knots. I'll continue the descent actually. We're not the descent, the slow down. We've got to be above 9,000 at base anyway. We're slowing down nicely now. Going down our descent path pretty well. Yeah, once we're into the clouds, into the soup, as some people call it, I guess. Do they call it that? Soup, clouds, I think so. But yeah, we've got a little bit of a breakthrough there, look, but most of it, yeah, solid cloud. So we'll have to see how that goes. Right, did we just hit our decel point, or is that a speed restriction? Oh, it's a speed restriction at Cliffy. 210 knots. Okay, down to 210 knots then, I guess. That's what the plane wants. It's very nice, this. Quite dark, obviously, around here. Very thick clouds, so that'll be interesting to see.
Traffic, Shark 68, we're going to take off on runway 24 left, and we're going to depart out to the east.
Okay, that's the airport, so it doesn't look like the airport's totally covered in clouds. Wow, it's a big airport. So we should see the Aer Lingus down there. There they are, look, there's the Aer Lingus. Hello. Are they using the new livery? No, they're not. Obviously, because I'm using model matching, so I don't know whether the model matching is using the old or new livery base. It might actually be based on World of AI. That livery, I've seen that livery in World of AI before, so... Because obviously I've got a mix of model matching. I've got some of it from World of AI and some of it from the actual model matching. Right, we'll go ahead and unlock the gear. Ready to put it down later. I don't know whether you do need to unlock it first, but why not? Right, we've got to be between 7,000 and 8,000, we're fine. At Cliffy, we do need to slow ourselves down a little bit though, down to 210 knots. Get ourselves slowed down. So you're currently passing 7,000, we'll go down to 6,000 at Darja. We're going to be at 6,000 then into Gado, and then we're making a little turn onto the ILS. It's a bit of an old turn, but yeah, that's what the plane made its mind up about, so that's what we're doing, I guess. So yeah, I don't know, the airport doesn't look too overcast. I don't know, I might change my mind by the time we actually get to facing the other way. Who knows? So we should see the Shamrock taking off. Has it taken off yet? There it is. Oh, that's cool. You can see it rotating. There we go. And that's the runway we'll be landing on a bit, and then we'll vacate and then head down there probably. That's cool. They're off to Dublin. That's like a 9-hour flight, isn't it, Dublin? It's something like that from Los Angeles. It's quite far. I don't know, the clouds don't seem as bad as the METAR said so, although that METAR is obviously an hour old. That's kind of the downside in updating the METAR hourly rather than half-hourly, is it's a bit out of date by the time you get to the airport. So, you know, kind of an issue. Right, passing, we need to be at 6,000 actually until Gado, and after that we hit our decel point and we're going to start slowing down for the ILS. We'll set this to 2,200 now, that's the final ILS altitude, and then we're on a 6-mile final to the runway. Landing speed is set, we'll go ahead and tune in the frequency, so 111.7 and 251, 111.7 and 251, we're all set then, and we should see that there, look, yep, so we have got the ILS. And go around altitude today, just go ahead and check that, go around altitude is 2,000. Okay, nice. Right now obviously we are holding at 6,000 and then we're going to start making a turn onto the ILS. Obviously this wasn't even a vectored turn, it wasn't meant to be vectored, it was, or at least maybe it's because I deleted the vector before and then changed it, I don't know. Right, we've cleared down below 6,000, we've hit our decel point now, as well, down to 205 knots. I'm going to go ahead and arm the approach now as well. Make sure it's all working fine. I'm going to get it slowed down a little bit, so flaps 1, flaps 2, get just that initial slowdown. Basically, just want to get that initial slowdown working. Got speed brakes out to slow us down now. As we pass 5,000 feet. So we're on course now, we're just waiting to pick up the localizer and the glide slope as well. Maybe we'll pick up the localizer a bit easier, it'll make our path onto the approach maybe a bit better, I don't know. But I'll get rid of the speed brakes now, we'll arm then for landing. All brakes are set for landing, so just gear and flaps. This can go into continuous position as well. Do we need any more lights? No, I don't think we need any more lights, do we? We're pretty lit up, looking at that, in the dark. We're pretty good. Looks nice when it's dark like this. I can't remember the last time I actually did an approach in the dark, because it might have got light by the time we did the approach last. No, it wasn't even on a stream that I did it in the dark. It was a thing off camera. I did a flight into Boise, I think, from Salt Lake City, and a 737 off camera. I'm pretty sure that's when it was dark. I've definitely done it before when it was dark, because like I took a photo for a thumbnail of the Delta 737 when it was dark. Who knows? Okay, we just hit onto the localizer and the glide slope, so we'll go ahead and turn the IAS/mark down to 160, which is generally the minimum approach speed for most airports, and then after Suti, I'll go ahead and tune that down to 135, which is our final approach speed. I think we are actually going to need some speed brakes, so even though I've armed them, I'm going to have to go ahead and use them. There you go, this thing's pretty good on its approach. I can't actually see the airport, so fair enough, it is a little bit overcast, but not that overcast. Not enough overcast that it's a problem. I mean, we know we should be able to see the airport because we saw it earlier. Right, now we're on the glide slope. This can go to our go-around altitude, 2,000 feet. everything's all good for landing now. Since it's a 6-mile final, after Suti, that's when we'll sort of take control of this aircraft. And I'll drop the speed now to 135. We'll just go ahead and check that is our approach speed. Yes. We haven't got an updated one. Whoa, it's cloudy. And that's like a rain cloud almost, that is. Right, we'll get the speed brake down and armed. Right, gears coming down. And we'll put the flaps into full. Yeah, that's thick cloud right there. Don't know why we get a minimums warning, that often happens, even though we have actually got a minimums tuned, so kinda odd. You just always get that in this plane. If anyone knows how to stop that from happening, please tell me. It just goes. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Right, we are 6 miles out. I'm not going to take control of this aircraft until I can actually see the runway. I mean, at about 700 feet we should be able to see it. Have we got auto land in this thing? Because I honestly don't think we have. I don't think we have got autopilot. Right. Oh, there we go. Also, that's slightly messed up. I need to put the LNAV and VNAV back. There we go. And approach. There we go, that sorts us out. And I think I can take control from here. So autopilot's coming out. And then throttles coming out. And that is my plane. Yeah, I don't know, it wasn't quite overcast at 700 feet, maybe a little bit higher than that. Nice approach this, look at it, got the city of LA all lit up, and you've got the 4-runway airport all lit up. It's actually a perfect approach to do in the dark, this. I didn't intend that, but yeah, obviously it works out pretty well. Obviously the plan now is to park at the D gate. We haven't got any ground docking chart, we've only got a ground chart, so I'll just pick a D gate and go wherever the GSX spawns. No need to say anything on Unicom, as there is now nothing in LAX. Right, we'll slow it down a little bit so I can bring down the altitude. We're slightly too high, although it looks pretty good to me. Look at that, it's so nice. As I say, it's probably the nicest that a default FSX has ever looked. Like, without any scenery add-ons, it's nuts. Look at that. I mean, the texturing's a bit low, but apart from that, it looks really nice. And now we're apparently too high. Okay. I don't know, we've been too high the entire time. Although for me, I think we look okay. Right. There we go. We've got back on course. There's minimums. Continue. Got another minimums warning. Now we're past minimums. Right.
100. 50. 40.
Good.
30.
Right. Idle throttles there. Let's try and get a good landing. Oh, there you go. Minus 199. Not bad. First is out. Steady knots, first is in. Oh, we're not going to make that exit, sadly. Okay, hello and welcome everybody to Los Angeles International Airport after a flight time of 1 hour and 58 minutes. Not a bad landing, that. Taxi off here at Zulu. Okay, lovely. That is us on the ground, guys. Okay, we vacated on Zulu. Where is that? I'm just looking now. Okay, I think we may have a slightly out-of-date scenery. Because Zulu isn't actually a taxiway anymore. Right, that's the DP, is over there. It looks like we vacated around... Actually, don't know. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong part of the... I'm looking at the wrong part. Yeah, no, Zulu does exist. I was looking at the wrong part of the chart there. Right, there we go. We've landed. I'll go ahead and turn to the left. Thanks for the applause on landing there. And we'll taxi down to the D gates somewhere. I don't know where exactly. Have we even got D gates? No, just gates. Okay, I'll do that thing where we just taxi to a gate and then get GSX to give us ground. Right, into the opposition these go. Taxi lights on. Those can go off and APU can go on. There we go. Hello and welcome everybody to Los Angeles. Not bad, 3 minutes quicker than planned, so we're here. We're on the ground safely. Well, yeah, basically minus 199, not quite the butter, but it's pretty good landing, isn't it? So I'll take that by far. So I'll taxi down here now. Because the plane's sort of steering slightly off there a little bit. Go a bit quick, I think. But there we go, not bad. Pretty average, sort of nice little flight there. Obviously, it would have been nice to have some ATC, but what can you do? We didn't have any ATC. Sadly, that's how it is, I guess, isn't it? So we're heading down Echo now. And we want to head all the way to Delta 9. Go on, let's take one in the middle. Take one of the stands in the middle, Delta 9. Sky Vector could do with providing a docking chart, though. That's the one thing that's, you know, not that helpful. No docking chart. And for some reason, yeah, the plane is steering slightly. There you go, I think I've just said it now. Right, so that's whiskey. Yeah, so we're parked somewhere in that lot of gates there, I think. Pretty much basically any gate with a jetway I'm happy to park at. A Delta has apparently just spawned in. There it is over there. You can see it. Maybe that's where Delta park in real life then, I don't know. So we'll come down there. That should be Delta 9 down there. And we'll park at one of those gates there. And then that's it for today. Next stream will be on Wednesday at 7 PM. BST time, where we'll be doing some VFR flying, which should be pretty cool. And then, of course, Thursday back in the A320 heading out of Oslo. I have got some up-to-date scenery for Oslo now. It took me about half hour yesterday trying to find some decent scenery, but I found it eventually. Some decent free scenery that works. That airport of Norway was a right nightmare to install, so just thought, nah, we'll leave it. Right, taxiing in here. It might actually be Delta 10 in the end. We've taxied down. Who cares? As long as we park at a decent gate with a jetway, I'm not really bothered. So I've got no marshaller because I've got no docking chart to tell GSX what stand we're at. So I'll just have to, because obviously if you park at a gate, GSX will know what stand you're at once you're parked anyway. So we'll taxi into this stand here. Cool. And there we go, we'll get ourselves lined up with the with this outside. With no marshaller, what can you do? We go do that. Sometimes GSX wants us to go a little bit further than what the markers say, but we'll leave that. Right, APU power on. Get the engines switched off, and we will go ahead and request deboarding. I just accidentally selected American Airlines there. I know I should have selected Delta. Can I like tell it to reset? I can tell GSX to reset. Actually, I'll get the jetway in before we do that anyway. Right, menu, ground connections, wheel chocks on, parking brakes off. Ground power can go on as well. So on with ground power, off with the APU. That's the wrong way. There we go, off. And we'll put that onto the doors page. Jetway is currently connecting. So request deboarding from GSX. We should select Delta this time. We have 150 passengers, remember. And there we go, Delta Airlines. Cool. There we go. Look at all the servicing coming in now. Hopefully that parking was pretty good. Jetway's on as well. That jetway's maybe slightly off. That's what the default jetways are like though. Right, go ahead and open both our cargo doors. Get seatbelt signs on. No, off I mean. And off goes the tax light. Strobes off, wing lights off, everything's all off. And the fuel pumps. May as well get the packs off, they're the ones that make massive noise in this plane. Everything off. And there we go, that is it. We'll go ahead and open our doors now. And there we are, that is us, parked at the gate in Los Angeles. Go ahead and stop the block time clock now. 2 hours, 12 minutes, that's saying. Not bad. Not bad at all. Go ahead and reset this clock as well. And there we go. Won't bother switching the lights off, or we'll leave them on. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to see a thing in this cockpit. And there we go. Cool. That is it. Pretty successful flight there. Fairly nice landing as well. Today we had 16 playbacks. I saw 5 people watching at one point as well, so pretty decent today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love that scenery though. That airport little dome in the middle, that looks cool. I wonder why they did that. It's like a hotel or something, I don't know. Looks like it. Of course we have got a Delta on the ground here. Over there, look, parked. So maybe that's the pier that Delta is supposed to use, who knows. But anyway, that will leave us, I'll leave you guys with this view. And there we go, that is us all finished with on today's flight. Been pretty successful today, hasn't it? Minus 199 FPM. Pretty calm landing. I didn't get any ATC in the end, sadly. Oh well, what are you going to do? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed, and I hope you will tune in for future streams, obviously. And yeah, that's about it, really. Future streams, obviously, my schedule. You've got Wednesday evenings, Thursday afternoons, Saturday mornings, and then every 2 weeks on a Sunday morning. So won't have another Sunday morning stream now for 2 weeks. But yeah, pretty good. Done pretty good today. So yeah, I hope all you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.